Hi there and welcome to a brand new Plan With Me video. If you are new here, my name is Sophie and it's very nice to meet you. Today we are going to create a new bullet journal theme for April, which is all about gardening, plants and garden utensils. I'm going to create this theme with watercolor paints and this is the set that I will be using. I'm going to link all the materials down below in the description as well as my social media and discount codes. And if you're looking for more bullet journal inspiration, also make sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok and Pinterest. Alright, now let's get into it. As you can see, I've already started on the illustration for my cover page. I'm going to paint a potting table, like a wooden structure that you use to pot your plants in a garden. And I'm going to add a lot of different details like little garden utensils, pots, you name it. I started the illustration with a light pencil sketch and first I'm going to create a light base layer with watercolor paint. I'm using a lot of water in this stage of the painting and I'm just painting in the bigger parts like the structure of the table, the base of the pots, the water can, etc. When that layer is dry, I'm going to slowly add more details, like the backdrop of the table, several leaves, more details in the watering can, etc. With every layer I'm making sure to let the paint dry well first, because you don't want to mix up all the paint. And if you're tired of waiting till all your paint is dry, you can also use a blow dryer for that. I myself do that very often. When I was working on the illustration, the table to be precisely, I thought it would be a bit boring. So I added a background with a brick wall and some grass. That way it gives the painting a bit more context and you can see more of what the setting is like. And I really like the result. I don't use watercolor very often. It has been some time since I used watercolor in my bullet journal, so that's also why I'm using watercolor paper, and when the painting is finished, I'm sticking it in my journal. I don't use watercolors a lot. I really like the process of painting this, adding all the little layers and the details. I really took my time painting this. Yeah, it was really nice to do. I really enjoyed it. To make this painting look more alive, I'm also adding a little bit of moss on the bricks, and I'm also adding some details in the grass and on the pots with the Fineliner. I think it really makes the painting pop out of your page. Painting is finished, I'm going to stick it in my journal and then I'm just adding a title and this page is done. I'm using a very simple font this month, nothing special, and I really like the contrast with the detailed paintings. Moving on to my monthly spread, I'm first drawing out the days of the month with different kinds of fineliners and brush pens. Again, I'm going to link everything down below in the description. I'm also adding a small piece of craft paper for some notes. And again, the name of the month at the bottom of the page. Sorry. Next, I'm going to paint some small paintings for the top of this monthly spread. I'm just going to paint some leaves and some branches against a brick wall. To paint a brick wall, I use a very watered down watercolor, and then I let that dry. And then I'm slowly painting the bricks on top of that, so that you get a really nice natural backdrop for the bricks and also for the leaves. I'm also adding a kind of bit of a shadow with a bit of the brown paint I use for the bricks to make it feel, more alive. When I'm done painting, I'm again adding some extra details with a fine liner. This is the final result of my monthly spread. I really like it. It's nice and simple and very functional. Moving on to the next spread, which is my content planner. If you're not into posting your content on any social media channel, this spread may not be for you, and that's okay. I use it to plan out my content for Instagram, for TikTok, and for here on YouTube. And it's just a little calendar and some indexes for my most important days of the month to post my content. This spread is very easy to change into a budget tracker or a study planner for your deadlines, etc. It's very versatile. I'm not adding an illustration to this page, but I do add a small piece of craft paper and a cute little washi tape. Opposite side of the spread, I am going to paint an illustration, and I am making a small painting of some crocus flowers. They are one of my favorites for early spring, and I also planted some in our garden. I especially like the purple ones, so I'm adding a lot of purple and also some yellow for the contrast. Again, I'm starting with a very light paint layer of some purple and yellow. And I also make sure to not paint very detailed parts, just very loose strokes and lines. And I'm also adding some grass. Then after that base layer, I'm slowly filling in the details and accentuating some parts. I don't often paint with bright colors like these, so it was a lot of fun, and it really reminded me that I should be doing that a lot more often. Also, I want to apologize for some of the bad lighting in this video. I filmed it with daylight, and during the day my room became a bit darker. Also, you can see the movement of my hand in the shadow, so I hope it doesn't bother you too much. And I will try to improve that for my future videos. When I was finishing this painting, I wondered if you have a favorite spring flower or maybe a favorite flower in general. Please comment it down below in the comments, and let's share some inspiration for future paintings. I'm placing the crocus painting on top of my habit tracker spread. I'm only tracking 4 habits, not very special. And after I put that in and added the title, I'm going to make a weekly spread. I've already made some tabs for my weekly spread and I've covered them with 4 different designs of washi tape. I'm first flipping to the last spread after my weekly spreads to paint a background with some dark green. And then I'm going back to my first weekly and start on a small illustration. I'm going to paint a couple of pots with herbs in them. I didn't look up specific kinds of herbs, I just painted them from memory. And I also added a little lavender pot because the purple of the lavender really meshed well with the crocus painting and I really liked that. Please let me know. I'm always looking for some inspiration. My favorite thing about using watercolor is that you can really slowly build up the painting. And sometimes if you make a mistake, it's hard to correct it. So you're taking a bit of a risk there. So I think it's quite exciting to paint with watercolor. And if you add all those tiny little layers and details, things look very quickly, very realistic. And that's also what I thought when painting these small pots. After adding the very small details with my Fineliner, I thought they looked very realistic and I really liked the end result. Now I'm quickly going to stick in the illustrations and also drawing the different columns for the days of the week. For the headers, I'm going to use some craft paper and writing the days on top of that with my Fineliner. At the end of this video and it's time for a quick flip through of my April setup. Thank you so much for watching and I hope that you enjoyed watching my painting process. As I said, I don't use watercolor very often, so it was a little bit of an experiment, but I really enjoyed it and I hope that you did as well. Make sure to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube and also follow me on Instagram, TikTok and Pinterest for more bullet journal inspiration. See you next time!